Cardinals not only finishing last in the division, losing their franchise quarterback to an ACL injury, but are also not looking good for this season. And frankly, we're going to be going through their draft class rather than watching a whole lot of film on them for this episode, because I don't know what to show you guys, right? Kyler's out, so quarterback's a huge question mark. Their offensive line needs a lot of repairing. Their defensive line is going to look entirely different.
They lost Hopkins.
Lost D-Hop. They lost a lot of their primary. Green retired, right? So receiving core looks so like as far as using last year as a proxy for some things that they're going to be doing well or we have questions about going into this year. We have no landmarks whatsoever. We have no roadmap. We're going in blind. I think they're not going to be. Oh yeah, by the way, different coach and GM too, right? So not even the system's the same. So we'll get to them last. And if you're a Cardinals fan, I'm sorry. We don't have a whole lot to talk about. So don't get your hopes up. What's their draft class look like? And I think I actually like this because one, they traded away a decent amount of capital for next season, which I think is a great idea when you're bringing in, new management, new coaching staff. Let's see what you got for this year and then figure out what problems you want to address next year.
John, did you see the irony of where Cliff Kingsbury is coaching?
Where is he coaching? He took a coaching job?
He's doing he's a specialist coach with USC. So he's going to be working with Caleb Williams. So the guy that's going to probably be picked to come in and take over for Kyler is now going to be Kingsbury.
So that's where I was going next. Was the other thing is they're really not going to be good this year. So the fact they're loaded up on draft capital, and they're probably going to have some high picks for this draft. Probably, a pretty good move on their part.
No one's thinking Arizona's going to do anything this year. If you're a Cardinals fan and you think that they're going to be relevant, I think you're probably insane.
We were wrong about the Seahawks. I genuinely believe this team is picking first overall next year.
They may tank. They may tank on purpose. I think they may lose games on purpose. I think 4.5 wins is generous to say that that's their over under. I think that 3 wins will be tough for them. Okay.
So look, now taking a look at this draft class though, I mean, who did they lose, right? They lost JJ Watt. They lost both of their receivers. Their offensive line has been horrendous the past couple of years.
They did improve their O-line in this draft.
Yeah, investing in Paris Johnson, great. I mean, I would say, there's a couple debates. I would say he was the best tackle that you could pick in this draft class. He's going to be a stud. Then BJ, I think it's Ojulari, the edge rusher out of LSU. Great round 2 pick. I think that he's going to pan out. And you got Garrett Williams out of Syracuse. Now, he's coming off of injury, but he has really good ball skills. I think you're getting a lot of value for a 3rd-round pick here. Grabbing a guy out of Stanford that I haven't watched a whole lot of film out of, so I'm not going to bullshit you and act like I know what I'm talking about for him. John Gaines, too, this guy's probably going to be an interior offensive line guy, but again, making investments there because of how not great it was. Clayton Tune, quarterback out of Houston, best at LB, and just kind of run down the list here. But I do think that these first 3 or 4 picks are going to be guys that start for them at some point this year. And so I think that again, preparing for the future. Cardinals fans, we posted a video about this that did pretty well a couple months ago. You guys might be the worst team in the NFL this season. But I do think that there is a little bit more of a plan in place for how you plan on getting to next season with the shit ton of draft capital you're going to have and potential to, either decide on whether or not they're going to roll with Kyler or they're going to trade him away and, go the Caleb Williams route or whatever else is going to go on.
There's a lot of new. There's a lot of new in Arizona, but there's, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that it's all bad. On the defensive side of the ball, you still have, for the time being, Budda Baker, who's one of the best at what he does in the NFL. I know he demanded a trade. Doesn't sound like he's going to get it. But Budda Baker, you still have him. You still have Isaiah Simmons, who I think is one of the most versatile linebackers / safeties in the league. I'm still mad that the Lions didn't draft him when they had the opportunity to. He's the guy that does everything well for them. So it's not all bad. You still have some key pieces to build around. Obviously, it's going to be a tough year. You're not in an easy division. You don't have an easy schedule. Your quarterback is injured. New coaches, a lot of new faces, but you do have some anchored pieces that if you can hold on to them and keep them bought in, you can build around. So the future is definitely bright for Arizona. I think it's brighter than people realize, and I don't think it's going to take 4 or 5 years to rebuild them into a competitive franchise. I think that probably just one down year, and you could be looking at a team that competes in this division in the next 2, maybe 3 years.
Yeah. But in the meantime, expect like a 3 or 4 win season. I mean,
Sean's like, oh, that sounds good, but like, hey, your guys are gonna suck.
This year's gonna be brutal. And hey, sometimes you need a brutal year to build something great. I have friends that built successful businesses that sucked the first year. Mark and I basically talked to ourselves for the first year of doing this. We started to catch steam, I guess end of the regular season or so. But point is that good things might be coming later, but they're not coming this season. And if you haven't figured out what I'm going to say about this over-under for the Cardinals, I am taking under. I think they're going to be like a 3-win team.
Yeah.
If they're lucky.